And coming back on your company's on your company Traverse Culture, on the website again, which we've already posted here, tverze.com, it says that you help relocate, live, and invest. Tell us who you're relocating and where you are taking them. Kia, the floor is yours.
Yes, primarily our demographic that we target is African Americans. One, because that's who we speak to the best, because I'm African American. And as you said before, we had the great pleasure of relocating our first family from Tennessee to Nairobi, Kenya in 2022. And so primarily our targeted audience is African Americans, but not limited to. We've had people from the UK as well as Canada as well that have traveled with us throughout the years since we've been doing this.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. And then you also said that you relocated your first family. So when you're talking about a family, so I'm assuming most of the people you're relocating have been individuals. So when you say family, you mean, like father, mother, and children all relocating to Kenya. Is that correct?
Correct. There was a young family. Well, I would say young, but the mother and father were in their early 30s, and their kids was 2 and 1.
Oh, wow.
So we literally, right, we do door-to-door service for our 120-day relocation integration program, where we pick you up at your house in the States and take you to the airport. Now, we didn't do that for this family, but we offer that now. Okay. And then pick you up from the airport here at JKI and take you to your temporary housing, which is not an hotel, but an apartment here in Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay. And of all those people that you've been relocating, like what are some of the common themes or reasons people are giving of wanting to leave, like their homes and where they've known all their lives to a whole strange place? What are some of the reasons that African Americans who you've relocated are giving? Kia?
Yes. So the family that we moved, they were Hebrew Israelites. So there's a small community of Hebrew Israelites here in Kenya right now. Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites. And so some of the reasoning is to just be able to get out of America and practice whatever their religion is here freely in Kenya. But if you're talking about just a common African American, again, that freedom to blend in and to feel like you are accepted somewhere. If I don't tell anyone that I'm not Kenyan, people assume that I'm Kenyan. Mm-hmm. And even if I speak, most people still assume that I'm Kenyan and I am of the Kenyan diaspora. And so that speaks volumes when you come to the country, when the majority people in the country look like you and assume that you are a part of their diaspora or even the community.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's something that I think those of us who are born in African countries sometimes take for granted and maybe don't necessarily see value in it because it's something that you're born with. And of course, once you're born into something and it's there in abundance, there's a tendency to take it for granted. I can also see Chef Sunil Chukripande is joining us. Chef, that's Chef Ali P. Karibu sana, Chef. And then anasema salamu sana brother Ali and Omosh. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I also want to remind like the other listeners, feel free to ask here any questions. And then for those who've been asking, how can we help the One Mic Show? How can we get the word out? It's very simple now. Mark Zuckerberg has made it very simple for you. All you need to do is go to the comment section and type @followers or @highlight, and it's gonna get all the people, all your friends, they're gonna get a notification that the One Mic Show is happening and Kia is live with us. Now, Kia, I wanna come back to you. You had a call to action conference in Nairobi last year. Tell us what the conference was about and maybe some goals that you've achieved so far with that conference and maybe how many people attended it. Kia.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the call to action was putting everyone on notice, both Kenyan and African American, that we are creating an initiative that is beneficial for all of us, calling all Africans of the diaspora to come together collectively to create a situation in which we are intentional with relationship building before we get to what I like to call conscious commerce and trade. And so the call to action, we had a 7 day and a 12-day tour, and the conference and the fashion show was built into this tour of Kenya, and we had over 200 participants, both African Americans already living here in Kenya, as well as the Caribbean community. Shout out to the Caribbean community here in Kenya, as well as our delegates that we brought from the states to participate in our culture exchange ceremony that was really, really successful, because we were able to share our culture or similarities, but what we like to do is also showcase the differences and leverage them. And that's exactly what we were able to do successfully through the call to action.
Okay, all right. And you talked about a 12-day tour. Was that just a one-time thing, or are these tours to Kenya something that Traverse Culture does frequently?
Correct. We're a travel concierge company. So the nucleus is travel, and the engine to get you to the other possibilities of opportunities, such as CSR work, relocation services, business development and investment opportunities, and now agriculture as well. So, yes, we do them all year.
Okay, all right. Like this is really quite interesting, and I can see some Murimi is tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can also see Esmaina Washiko and Mukamba. Thank you so much for adding the at followers. Afro Jamaican, thank you so much at followers. Very simple. Just go to the comment section, type at followers, so that everybody knows that Kia is in the building. Maybe virtually, but she's in the building. From Nairobi is the basic structure, and which is not.